The bright lights of the Bravo Clubhouse studio hummed with the familiar energy of late-night television, where secrets spilled like champagne and laughter echoed off the velvet walls. Andy Cohen, the silver-haired maestro of celebrity chaos, perched on his signature stool, his eyes twinkling with that mix of mischief and genuine curiosity that had made Watch What Happens Live a staple for Bravo devotees. Tonight's guest was Leanne Morgan, the queen of Southern sass, whose Netflix sitcom had just catapulted her from regional comedy clubs to the glittering echelons of Hollywood's A-list hopefuls. At 62, Leanne was a vision in a tailored pantsuit that hugged her curves just right, her blonde bob framing a face etched with the lines of a life well laughed through. Mother of three, grandmother extraordinaire, and now, star of her self-titled show that had racked up over 1 billion viewing minutes in its debut week. The audience, a curated crowd of Bravo superfans in sequins and stilettos, buzzed with anticipation as the theme music swelled, Andy's voice booming over the speakers. Welcome to the clubhouse, where the drinks are strong and the shade is stronger. Leanne strode in with that trademark swagger, waving like she was greeting kin at a family reunion, her laughter already bubbling up as she settled into the plush guest chair opposite Andy. Cameras panned across the set, capturing the cocktail bar lined with crystal glasses, the poll questions flickering on screens, and the faint scent of citrus from the signature Andy Cohen cocktails being poured backstage. What no one could predict. Not the producers huddled in the control room, not the social media team primed for viral clips, was how this seemingly breezy interview would unravel into one of the most talked-about meltdowns in late-night history. As the applause died down, Andy leaned in, microphone in hand, his grin wide as the Mississippi. As the first commercial faded and the lights dimmed for the co-host segment, Kristen Johnston burst onto the set like a whirlwind of 90s nostalgia, her mane of wild curls and booming laugh instantly transporting everyone back to the glory days of Third Rock from the Sun. Leanne, darling, I hear you're the new queen of dysfunction. Spill the tea on how you turned family feuds into fortune. Kristen teased, plopping down with a cocktail in hand, her energy a perfect foil to Leanne's grounded grace. Andy, ever the ringmaster, steered the conversation toward the game's highlight. What's in the glory hole? The show's cheeky staple, where guests blindfolded and guessing mystery items described through a partition, always good for a groan or a gasp. Leanne donned oversized Mary Cosby-inspired glasses, peering dramatically as Kristen narrated the first object. It's slimy, it's squishy, and it's what every Southern belle keeps in her purse for emergencies. The audience leaned in, whispers rippling like wind through cotton fields. Is it a possum? No. Wait, collard greens? Oh Lord, it's okra. Leanne guessed, her voice pitching high with mock horror, sending the crowd into stitches. Andy high-fived her, the camaraderie palpable. But as the game progressed to more risque items, a vibrating gadget that had Kristen cackling uncontrollably, the tone shifted ever so slightly. Leanne's laughs grew a tad forced, her Southern propriety bumping up against the show's edgier Bravo vibe. Y'all, I love a good time, but my glory hole's more like a biscuit tin, full of recipes, not... Whatever that was, she quipped, deflecting with charm, but Andy caught the flicker of discomfort in her eyes. Back to the hot seat, the interview delved deeper, Andy circling like a hawk on her sitcom's portrayal of traditional marriage. The tension coiled tighter as Andy, sensing the viral potential, doubled down with the finesse of a seasoned interviewer who's seen more walk-offs than a reality reunion. Come on, Leanne, you're a trailblazer. Don't tell me you're not pushing boundaries. Your special Unspeakable Things drops next month. Is that where the real Leanne roars? Leanne leaned forward, her voice steady but laced with steel, the drawl sharpening like a knife on whetstone. Boundaries? Honey, I've been pushing him since I birthed 3 kids without an epidural and still showed up at PDA with a perm and a smile. My comedy's about truth, messy, Southern truth, not whatever y'all in New York think women should be. The audience murmured, a divide emerging, some cheering Leanne's fire, others nodding at Andy's call for progress. Kristen, caught in the crossfire, sipped her drink nervously, whispering aside, "This is better than Real Housewives." But Andy wasn't backing off, his laugh a touch too hearty. Truth? Or just comfort food for the conservative crowd? Your show's topping charts, but at what cost? Alienating the LGBTQ+ fans who adore Bravo. It was the match to the powder keg, Leanne's face paling as the implication struck. Her wholesome humor labeled exclusionary, her values weaponized in a cultural cage match. Alienating? Andy Cohen, I love every soul God made, gay, straight, or otherwise. My boy's best friend is queer as a $3 bill, and we bake him bundt cakes for pride. But I won't apologize for my faith or my family just cause it don't fit your rainbow narrative. Gasps rippled through the crowd, phones flashing like lightning in a bottle. Andy's eyes widened, feigning surprise but eyes gleaming with the thrill of the scoop. Faith! We're talking comedy, Leanne, not Sunday school. Midway through the fray, the director called for a quick break, but the heat didn't cool. It simmered, threatening to boil over as Leanne paced the green room, her publicist hovering like a nervous hen. Back on set, Andy joked with Kristen to fill the void. Well, that was spicier than Snoop's hot wings. Drawing polite laughs, but the elephant loomed large, its trunk trumpeting division. When Leanne returned, the air crackled, her posture rigid, smile a thin veneer over simmering fury. The show pressed on with fan questions, but each one felt like a landmine. Leanne, what's the wildest thing you've said no to in Hollywood? Andy prompted, hoping to lighten, but Leanne's response cut deep, saying yes to changing who I am for likes and retweets. Y'all want authenticity? Here it is. I believe in one man, one woman, 'cause that's what worked for my folks through depressions and wars. Call it regressive, I call it resilient. The studio split, applause clashing with boos, a microcosm of America's cultural Cold War. Andy, cornered but unflinching, pivoted to Bravo ties. Resilient, sure, but your fans include our housewives, women who've fought for choice, for visibility. Doesn't your stance silence the... Leanne's eyes flashed, voice rising to a crescendo that drowned the music cues. Silence? I'm the loudest mouth this side of the Mason-Dixon, but I won't march in your parade if it means ditching my principles. You build an empire on drama. Congrats, you got some. The argument peaked, words tumbling like dominoes. Andy accusing her of performative piety, Leanne charging him with elitist erasure. Kristen's attempts at mediation, let's all hug out like on our HOA, fell flat. The women's bond from the sitcom set straining under the spotlight's glare. Off camera, whispers spread of Leanne's team, signaling exit strategies. But she held firm, a lioness defending her den. With the clock mercilessly ticking down to the closing toasts, the atmosphere in the clubhouse thickened to molasses, every eye on Leanne as she gripped the armrest, knuckles white against the red leather. Andy, sensing the precipice, tried a Hail Mary. Leanne, you're a force. Your special sounds epic. Let's end on that. What's unspeakable that you're finally saying? But the olive branch snapped under the weight of prior barbs. Leanne's response a torrent. Unspeakable. How about the hypocrisy of a show that preaches inclusion but shames folks for believing different? I came here to share joy, not justify my soul. The audience held its collective breath, the divide palpable, half rising in ovation for her unyielding spirit, half murmuring disapproval at the perceived attack on progressive ideals. Andy's face hardened, his retort swift. Hypocrisy? We're Bravo. We lift voices, even the ones that challenge us. But if you can't handle the heat, maybe late night's not your kitchen. It was the breaking point, the shocking climax, where civility shattered like dropped stemware. Leanne stood abruptly, microphone tumbling to the floor with a thud that echoed through the monitors, her voice booming unamplified. Heat? Y'all wouldn't know heat if it singed your Botox. I'm done. This ain't dialogue, it's dissection. Chaos erupted. Kristen reaching out a hand, producers yelling cut from the booth, audience gasping in unison as Leanne stormed toward the exit, heels clicking like gunfire on the polished floor. Andy called after her, half laugh, half plea. Leanne, come back. We're just getting started. But she waved him off, pausing only to blow a kiss to the fans. "Y'all keep laughing. Life's too short for lectures." The door slammed behind her, the sound reverberating, leaving the set in stunned silence, broken only by the theme music's awkward swell. Cameras caught it all. The empty chair, Andy's flustered rub of his temple, Kristen's wide-eyed shock.